welcome Horror Diaries Official. Today we are going to talk about the haunted places in Scotland. First, Culzean Castle. Perched high on the Ayrshire cliffs, this Robert Adam masterpiece is shrouded in tales of terrible deeds and evil spirits. In 1570, the fourth Earl of Cassilis captured the abbot of Crossraguel Abbey and roasted him alive until he agreed to sign over his hands. Sir Archibald, the Wicked of Culzean, was a man so evil that the devil himself attended his funeral. There are also stories of a ghostly knight dressed in armor who appears to household staff and the phantom piper who plays on stormy nights as the waves pound the cliff face below. Broderick Castle. Beneath the towering peak of God Fell lies a castle with 800 years of ghost stories and paranormal activities. There are many accounts of sightings of the Grey Lady and White Stag, as well as tales of murder and the supernatural. Walk in the footsteps of clairvoyants and paranormal investigators and stand on the very spot that castle pets refuse to cross. Pollock House. Discover the blood-curdling tale of the bewitched Bernard and the witches of Pollock. In the 1670s, Janet Douglas, a mute serving girl, arrived at the Pollock estate of Sir George Maxwell, who shortly thereafter fell mysteriously ill. Janet regained the power of speech and immediately accused 5 local people of consorting with the devil. The story of their trial and subsequent burning at the stake has intrigued historians over the centuries, as has the story of Janet himself. She was reputed to have traveled to America and was involved in the infamous Salem witch trials of 1692. Greenbank Garden. With several resident ghosts, this wonderful garden oasis is both idyllic and mystical. Look out of the lady in red, who's been encountered in the dining room of Greenbank House. A phantom large black dog and the spectre of a young girl skipping beside the burn, believed to be the ghost of a local girl tragically killed in the courtyard in the early 20th century. Afterwards, settle your nerves in our cafe with a spirit-raising scone and a cup of tea. The House Hill. The domestic architectural masterpiece was designed by Charles Rennie Mackintosh and Margaret MacDonald Mackintosh in the early 1900s for the Glasgow, who is said to appear occasionally on the upper landing dressed in a long black cap. He emerges from the dressing room before vanishing into the main bedroom. Don't be concerned if you smell pipe smoke in or around the library. Smoking was one of Walter's favorite pastimes. Gladstone's Land. The Winnels and passageways of Scotland's history capital are full of ghostly goings on. Having been home to the murderous Berkeley and Hyde, and the scene of many public hangings, explore our 17th century tenement close to Edinburgh Castle on a special ghosts, witches, and murder tour in search of spirits, both good and bad, not for the faint-hearted. Culross. This peaceful 17th century village is a living open-air museum. Listen to tales of the Culross witches who were imprisoned and tortured in the town house, of petty criminals branded for life with the S-shaped courtroom key as the sinner, and of miscreants dragged to the market cross to have their ears nailed to the town stocks. Culross Palace was built by Sir George Bruce around 1600s. Its remarkable stone vaulted strong room, and you may interrupt Sir George counting his money. Although he smiles and waves to children, he wards off adults. You venture too close to his fortune, you may also encounter a young and elegantly dressed Mary Askin holding a bouquet of lavender as she admires the palace garden. Her family purchased the palace in the early 18th century. Alloa Tower. This 1700-year keep, the oldest in Scotland, is home to numerous ghost stories from across the centuries. Learn of the abbot's curse and visit the dungeon where the spectre of a man in chains is helped by a ghostly serving girl who bandages his rat-gnawed foot. In the great hall, you may encounter a young girl trapped in a stone well, a woman dressed in black watching over a cradle, and a maid pacing nervously up and down close to the family portrait that depicts a lower tower with an adjoining mansion, the very mansion which burned to the ground in August 1800s, when the maid placed a lit candle too close to bedclothes. On the anniversary of the fire, visitors often report the acrid smell of burning. In a charter room, you may come across a young boy crying, an armed man with strange eyes, or gaunt, clergy man dressed in black. Most frightening of all is the solar room, where a man has been seen hanging, and where you may be overcome by the physical sensation that you too are being strangled. Falkland Palace, besieged by robbery and partially destroyed by Cromwell's troops. The palace has turbulent history soaked in murder and despair. In 1402, the Duke of Rothesay, heir to the Scottish throne, was imprisoned in Falkland Castle, where he reputedly starved to death. In 1542, James Wee's body lay in state in his Chapel Royal for almost a month before being taken to Holyrood Abbey and buried. Over the years, the palace has had visits from the ghosts of Mary, Queen of Scots, the White Lady who roams The tapestry gallery awaited her lost lover, and the grey lady who walks the ruins of the East Range and disappears through a wall where once there was a door. Most chilling of all are the sinister faces that appear at the window of the Queen's room.